How's it going, everyone? Today we got a story time, oh my god, of a kid who somehow destroys/floods the zoo over Skibidi Toilet. Bro, I don't understand. This next generation is absolutely ruined. But sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel right now if you like Storytime videos. Press the like button to claim your free nothing. Limited time deal, by the way. And with that being said, let's just jump into one of the cringiest story times of all time. Let's go. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Will. So anyways, in Will's class, there was a kid who we're going to call Ben. Of course, we call the secondary character Ben. You know how it is around on this channel. But anyways, Ben was infected with the very, very destructive and dangerous virus known as Skibidi Toilet Syndrome. Once you get it, man, you're a goner. So anyways, what do I mean by that? I mean, Ben, over the summer, he was kind of chilling, wasn't doing that much, and he was on YouTube one day, and he saw, probably in his recommended, one of these Skibidi Toilet videos. And I don't know if you guys have seen Skibidi Toilet Syndrome, but basically, kids will basically spend 25 hours a day. 25 hours a day. You heard me right? No, I don't mean 24, I mean 25. They literally pause time just to get an extra hour per day to watch Skibidi Toilet videos. The only music on their Spotify playlist is the Skibidi Toilet song. The only entertainment that they will ever consume are Skibidi Toilet related videos. And they do that every day on repeat. And you want to have a conversation with them? Well, if it's not about Skibidi Toilet lore, then get out, because they don't want to talk to you, buddy. I don't know how else to say it. Anyways, Ben was unfortunately infected with this very dangerous and basically terminal virus. And by terminal, I mean terminally cringe. Because everyone else around, it's actually terminal for everyone else around you because they will die of cringe. So make sure you have your cringe make sure you have your cringe goggles on by pressing the like button. I give you not only a free nothing, but also a free pair of cringe goggles. So make sure you have that on before I delve too deep into the story and you pass away or something. I'm just impervious to cringe at this point. I have developed superhuman strength. Anyways, so this kid, Ben, he used to be a normal kid. Well, I mean, kind of. Will is like, he was a little weird, but wasn't this bad. But unfortunately, over the summer, he did nothing all day but just sit there and watch Skibidi Toilet videos. Yes, you heard me right. And he's contracted the virus. First day of school, they get back. Will's all happy. Life is good. And then, one of his last classes of the day he has with Ben. And, he kind of remembers Ben from back in the day. He kind of remembers, Ben was just kind of that kid. He was a little quiet. Never really a problem man. Never did anything bad. Will has only had good experiences with him. Gets to class. Walks in, kind of struts in with some of his boys. They walk in, and they see Ben sitting there. And they just hear him, staring into space. His eyes kind of floating in different directions. Like he has nothing going on in his head. Just singing, skippy bop bop bop, yes, skippy bop bop beep. That's that song that, if you like it, that's fine, right? I'm not coming for you. I've just heard it so much that it makes me angry. So I'm not gonna replicate it too often. Just know that's the song I'm talking about. And Will is just thinking, okay, is this guy trolling? Is this a bit? Because, at this point, they came back early September, as, a lot of kids do. At this point, Skibidi Toilet was super, super big and popular and all the rage and got 1 billion subscribers or whatever. And it was kind of becoming a little bit of a meme at this point. So he was like, oh, maybe he's just doing a joke. No, my friend. It was not a joke. It's serious. It's not a joke, guys. Skibidi Toilet Syndrome is deadly serious. Okay? Listen to me. It is a serious deal. So I don't want to hear any jokes about it because it is terminal for everyone else. The worst kind of disease. Not terminal for the person who gets it, terminal for everyone else around them. Turns them into a monster. A cringe-bearing monster. It's terrible. Anyways, so yeah, in all seriousness, Will's just walks the back of the class, kind of looks at his friends. He's like, dude, what is going on with Ben, man? What is Buddy smoking? Why is he doing that? Because after 2 minutes of him just looping the Skibidi Toilet song and staring to space, they kind of think that he, got hit in the head really hard. Because that would actually completely explain his actions. Okay, so I've given you a good description of Ben. I gave you a little story, a little context. Fast forward 3 months 3 months, Ben has gained a reputation of being an absolute menace because all he does all day is to scream Skibidi Toilet garbage all day. It's what he does in all classes. He's been sent to the principal's office like 100 times for disrupting class. He has lost any friend that he had because, I don't know about you, but in my opinion and in my definition of a substantive friendship, does not include sitting there while I hear this kid scream Skibidi Toilet songs like all day. That's not a friendship I'm looking to enter. I know that might be shocking to a few of you, but it's true, man. It's not something I'm looking to enter right now. I'm sorry. Anyways, he's gained a bit of a reputation. 3 months later, they have a field trip. Class field trip, whatever. They go to the zoo. I don't know if you guys ever had some class field trips. I never had one to the zoo, but I had a few to museums and exhibits. Always super fun. Mess around with the boys, get yelled at, look at some cool stuff. Don't actually have to do anything that day. Love them. Anyway, so Will and his boys are on the bus. Everyone's lined up. Ben is sitting, with his assigned seat partner, and his assigned seat partner is like plugging their ears as Ben is like, just destroying his eardrums, completely removing all of his brain cells too. It should be a federal crime because with every skibidi coming out of his mouth, a brain cell of someone around you has died. So at a certain point, you kill off all the brain cells, they become a vegetable. So that's essentially killing them, right? So there should be a legal investigation into this, in my opinion. But anyways, they're sitting there. They're getting to the zoo. They're driving over. Will's pretty happy. It's always fun. It's always a cool day, as I said earlier. Everyone loves a good field trip, man. So sure enough, they get to the zoo, and everyone gets off the bus. Single file line. You have your buddy. You have your partner. And the partners you couldn't select by yourself, which I understand. If you're having trouble making friends, a lot of these things teachers are doing it's to promote new friendships, and it's also make sure that people who don't have the greatest social skills don't get, left out or feel even worse about it. So sure enough, they had random friend groups. And what are the odds? Will's standing there, he's hoping for one of his boys, like he's hoping, it'd be Alex, or he's hoping it'd be, not Ben, sorry, hoping it would be Charlie or someone. Sitting there, and the teacher's like, Will, your partner is Ben, and Will's like, no, God, no, God. You know that clip? I don't know if you guys are Office fans. I love The Office. Oh, you like The Office? You're so original. I know. Shoot me. Don't, actually. But, when Dwight, I don't want little spoiler, but when Toby comes back, Michael finds it out, and he freaks out. Just imagine that reaction. Anyway, so Will eventually walks over to Ben, and Will's like, hey, man, how's it going? Because one of the rules of the buddy system is you must be with your buddy at all times. So this just went from a 6, 7, maybe 8 hour, I think probably closer to 6 hour, fun, awesome trip that he's going to enjoy so much to a Skibidi Toilet-induced torture session. So Will's mood just took a complete 180, completely swapped in the other direction. He's definitely not too happy about it. So he goes over. It's like, hey, Ben. And Ben's like, Skibidi bop. And Will's like, oh, dear God. I can't even communicate like that. He's like, hey, man, how's it going? Bop, bop, yes. And he's like, God. Because Will knew that this kid was a bot at this point. He knew that this kid was an actual non-playable character. But he didn't realize that he was to this degree gone. At this point, lock him up in a mental facility. Get him some help. It's because this virus has probably taken over each individual brain cell in his skull. Every single neuron has been captured by Skibidi Toilet. Dude, guys, this generation seriously needs some help, man. So anyways, the day commences. And they're walking around. It's the zoo. It's fun. It's cool. Everyone likes it. Actually, no, I take that back. I do not like the zoo. I used to like it when I was a kid because, funny monkey in cage. Now I look around and I just see how depressed the animals are. Every single one there just wants to off themselves, right? They're just sitting there being fat and doing nothing all day. So I don't know. I don't like the zoo, but I see the appeal. I really do. Anyway, so they're walking around, and Will and Ben or Will is just like, oh my god, like this is actually the worst. Like, Buddy just entered his own hell for the next 6 hours, and sure enough, Ben is sticking to character. He has just been mumbling. Okay, I got to give him points. He's not screaming, but still mumbling. Oh, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes. Just it's bad. It's really bad. Like I don't know what else to say, and Will is just like, bro, like. Yo, like, I don't know how you feel about this, but do you want to, like, cover more ground and split up? Against the rules, but Will is like, I just can't handle this anymore. I'll tell my teacher that we got split up by accident. And Ben isn't going to correct the record because he's too busy skibbity bopping anyways. And of course, like, the one time that Ben would be able to speak in a normal English sentence would be to rat Will out. But beyond that, and Ben kind of looks at him and shrugs and then walks off. So Will is like, thank God. Peace, freedom. Free at last. Probably shouldn't keep that. Anyways, so Will's walking around looking at the cool monkeys and hippos and dragons and whatever you see at zoos. Or I haven't been to one in a second. And sure enough, he runs into some of his other friends. Let's call them Charlie and Alex. And Charlie and Alex are like, dude, like I heard you're partners with that Ben kid. Like that's so funny. Ha ha ha. Where is he, by the way? And, Will's like, oh, I made a deal with him. I said, look, let's cover more ground. Let's split up. And Charlie's like, oh, like, you should really make sure you find him before we have to go back because, the buddy teacher system, they're going to get really mad at you. Like, I know, Tommy that, he did that a couple years back and he actually got, after school suspension for like a week or something. They're really serious about that. And Will's like, yeah, I know. I'm going to find them. Worst case scenario, I say we get lost, but I just honestly can't stand around that kid when he's doing all the things he's doing. And, they kind of agreed. Like, it makes sense. Like, this kid was being so annoying. It's just, you can only hear the Skibidi Toilet song for 100,000 times so long, right? Only for so long. And it just kind of goes downhill really, really quickly. So I don't know the exact details here. When I say I don't know, I mean Will doesn't know the exact details because he split up with the Skibidi Toilet kid. So this is going to be a mix of other people's perspectives. It's going to be a mix of logical conclusions, and it's going to be a mix of likely context. So what likely happened? The Skibidi Toilet kid, obsessed with Skibidi Toilet, just devoured by these toilets or whatever. I don't know. Goes to the bathroom. In the bathroom, there are toilets. And he must have just been, I don't know why he didn't do this at school previously. Maybe he just doesn't go to the bathroom at school, which honestly, I can understand. Boys' bathrooms, public boys' bathrooms at middle schools and high schools are dangerous places. It's just bad news. So I would understand if he didn't go to school or bathroom in school. But he sees the toilet and somehow gets like lodged in there and then starts like repeatedly flushing. And somehow it like gets into the pipe system. And like starts overflowing the pipe system. And somehow he breaks it so bad that like the toilet starts rising up. And then all the toilets in the row start rising up because all the pipes are connected. And then the sinks start flooding. And then there's just a big pool of water spraying out of the bathroom and starts running through the inside part of the museum because the zoo also had like a museum section. And that's when Will and his friends were walking around expecting to have, I don't know, at least a few more hours to kind of hang out and whatever. They hear like on the loudspeaker, like, we need all like zoo attendants to get to an exit immediately. There's been an emergency, like you got to go now. Very clearly not a drill. So they were like, oh, what? Anyways, so Will and his friends, Will not for a second believes, oh, of course, well, this must be because of the Skibidi Toilet kid. Also, real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment toilet down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And if you made it this far into the video and you want a heart, because I'm going to be trying to drop as many hearts as I possibly can, comment the secret word toilet 3 times in 3 separate comments. More likely, I'll see it when I'm scrolling through my comments. And also, just so you know, every couple of days, I sort through my comments and I filter them by super thanks, which you go into the little heart, there's a $sign. If you leave a comment as a super thanks, I will 100% reply to it, and I'll heart it, I'll reply to it, I'll give you a good long reply or whatever. I might reply to some other comments, but you'll get a really good reply if you do it that way. And just for a second, I want to direct you to the description where there's a bunch of links. Cameo page if you want something like that. If you want to learn how to make money with a YouTube channel, I also have a little instructional video of how to do that. I have some Amazon links for products you might need if you want to, make videos or whatever. Use the links. I get like $5 or something. Helps out a little bit. And also, of course, if you want to submit these stories, Instagram is connorpugs. Follow me on there and then message me your story. Now let's get back to the Skibidi Toilet kid who has obliterated the zoo or something. So Will, his immediate reaction is not, oh, of course, Ben, the Skibidi Toilet kid, must have gone into the bathroom and clogged up all the sinks and toilets from being an idiot or something. It's not his immediate reaction. His immediate reaction is, I don't know what's going on, but I need to find Ben immediately, as he's like my escape buddy. Like, not escape buddy. He is my buddy, and I'm going to get in massive trouble. Even more trouble, because now the buddy system is being employed. So anyways, Will is frantically like running around, trying to find Ben. And he eventually runs by the bathroom, and he's seeing like he's seeing like water pile up in places, and he starts to walk towards the bathroom, and he sees like a bunch of staff members, bunch of like janitors, whatever, people like making sure that no one gets there, like a security guard. And he also sees Ben, and Ben is by the like two security guards, and he's like, oh God, what? So anyways, Will's like, okay, screw it, I gotta go. So Will goes over, he finds a teacher. He said, hey, I got separated from Ben, and I just saw him by the bathroom with two security guards. So the teacher's like, okay, like, whatever. They're not going to punish him because it's such a weird situation going on right now that they're just more focused on getting everyone together. So the teacher and Will, they go back to the situation. Remember, it's flooding everywhere, and this, like, security guard's like, hey, like, you guys got to leave. And the teacher's like, one of the students is over there. And they're like, oh, like that guy? He goes over, points to Ben. And the teacher's like, yeah, that's one of our students. And they said, okay, well, he kind of caused this whole situation, so we got to have a talk. And the teacher's like, what? And the teacher turns to Will and says, look, like, leave, go to the exit, tell, like, whatever teacher there that your buddy is here and it's fine that you're not with him. Say that, Miss Alexandra or whatever said that. I'll just go. So Will has to go. Will goes to the exit. Teacher's like, where's your accountability? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, like not with me, with Miss Alexandra. You can check with that later. And the teacher's like, okay, fine. I believe you. Why wouldn't I? Eventually, they get on the bus. They have to wait there for like 4 hours. Like, it was the most boring thing ever. But they have to wait there. And Ben doesn't get on the bus because, he had to do some stuff since he obliterated the zoo or something. Eventually, they get back to school. And not much more is known, because Ben never returned to school. I don't know if he got expelled. I don't know if he got a punishment and then, his parents were like, okay, buddy's got problems. We got to just do something with him. But Ben didn't have any social media. It's not like he got Instagram or LinkedIn or something like that. He just disappeared. Just poof. And he didn't really have any friends, so no one really stayed in contact with him. So still to this day, no one has any idea what Buddy's up to. No one.